The solution design with a problem broken down, your interviewer wants to see how you can solve each of the pieces of the problem. This is where your knowledge of the core concepts come into play. You should be able to describe how you would solve each piece of the problem and how those pieces fit together into a cohesive whole. The most common ways that candidates fail with this competency are not having strong enough understanding of the core concepts to solve the problem, ignoring scaling and performance considerations, spaghetti design, a solution that is not well structured and not well structured and difficult to understand. The most common ways fail with candidates. Okay, this is not having strong enough understanding of the core concepts to solve the problem, ignoring scaling and performance considerations, spaghetti design, a solution that's not well structured and difficult to understand. Interviewers are on alert for candidates who have simply memorized answers or material. They'll test you by probing reasoning, doubting your answers, asking you to explore trade-offs. This is where having solid fundamentals which cover which cover uh, co- will which will cover coupled with appropriate depth are going to be critical to your success. To be able to design a great system, you'll need to know the best practices, current technologies, and how to apply them. Technical excellence. To be able to design a great system, you'll need to know best practices, current technologies, and how to apply them. This is where your knowledge of the key technologies is important. You should be able to describe how you would use current technologies with well recognized patterns to solve problems. The most common ways that candidates fail with this competency are not knowing available technologies, using antiquated methods or approaches, or being constrained by outdated hardware constraints, not knowing how to apply those technologies to the problem at hand, not recognizing common patterns and best practices. Hardware has not stood still over the last decade, but much system design material is still stuck in 2015. In our guide, we'll carefully call out these places where outdated approaches are no longer applicable. You also learn numbers to know that will help you make better decisions. Communication collaborations. Technical interviews are also a way to get to know what it would be like to work with you as a colleague. Interviews are frequently collaborative, and your interviewer will be looking to see how you work with them to solve the problem. This will include your ability to communicate complex concepts, respond to feedback and questions, and in some cases work together with the interviewer to solve the problem. The most common ways the candidate fail with this competency are not being able to communicate complex concepts clearly, being defensive or argumentative when receiving feedback, getting lost in the weeds, and work within not being able to work with the interviewer to solve the problem. How to use this guide? We recommend that you read this guide in this order, skipping any sections you already know. We'll start with our how to prepare sections. Practice common problems. Like, while we link off additional materials relevant, we tried making this as self-contained as possible. So it would go in this fashion. uh, first is uh, first is this one, maybe something of this sort. Again, once again, we'll go with the Uber. Uber, phone pay, Google Docs, and more. Actually, practice common problems here. And after that, what we do, we will try to build a delivery framework. This here, delivery framework, and this is actually supposed to be a bit delivery framework is this one. Then we have key technologies, patterns, key tech, then what do we have? We have patterns, technologies, key technologies and patterns. Then you have core concepts, then you have core concepts. Core concepts. So how to use this guy, how to prepare? You practice the common problems, build a delivery framework, learn key technologies and identify patterns, and build core concepts. So lastly, we firmly believe you need to practice to ensure you are comfortable the day of your actual interview. A common failure mode for candidate is to have consumed a lot of material but stumble when it comes time to actually apply it. For this, our guide includes work solutions to common problems as well as our guided practice, which walks you through the steps of an interview with personalized feedback. Along the way, we have layered quizzes to make sure you're retaining and real practice problems, so you can see how to actually translate your knowledge into a working solution. How much time do I need to prepare? Okay, then let's go for how to prepare. Here it is. Practice how to prepare for system design interviews. Build a foundation. Understand what a system design interview is. Maybe you have never done a system design interview before. You are not alone. Start by reading our intro to system design. Choose a delivery framework. System design interviews move fast. It's important that you have a clear roadmap to help you think linearly and avoid scope creep. We strongly recommend our delivery framework. This is the framework you will follow to design your system come interview day. Start with the basics. If you are new to system design in particular, you'll want to start by learning the basics and mapping out the scope of knowledge required. Start by reading about core concepts, key technologies, and common patterns used in system design. These write-ups are high level, but you help you build the mental models necessary to build upon them. Build upon. Practice, practice, practice. Once you have a foundation in place, it's time to practice. Passively consuming content is good, but you will retain 10 times more information actually doing. Choose a question, select the question from the list of common interview questions before, read the requirements, understand the requirements of the system you will need to design. Try to answer on your own, either with a guided practice below or on a virtual board or on a virtual whiteboard. Read the answer key. Only after you try to answer the question, read the answer key to see how your answer compares. Put your knowledge to the test. Once you've done a few questions and are feeling comfortable, run a peer mock with someone who works at your target company. Telling your design out loud under time pressure is a different skill than reading about it. So let us say Bitly and Dropbox. Let's say, for example, start.